my calls and texts after that call. Last week my mother hosted Sunday supper for us. I went alone because a friend watched Mary and Ethan. The meal was filled with pregnancy queries from my folks. Did I feel good? Did I consider names? Was the nursery ready? Emily stared at me coldly when the baby was mentioned before leaving. After supper, Emily questioned me why I took 2 foster kids when I could have real kids. Table silence. Amanda got therapy. I became a foster parent to stabilize Mary. We decided permanent guardianship was best, and Ethan moved in with me to keep the siblings together. I hardened Emily's face with every word. She said I forced my instant family on her after years of trying. She argued that I had 2 children without trying to be a mother, and now I was carelessly having a biological child. The worst part was when she said it was cruel that I took 2 foster children who could have gone to parents who deserved them more since they couldn't have children. Her comments physically shook me. My foster kids weren't astonished to be sent to the best couple, but I felt her pain. Their mother asked me to help her house the kids safely. I apologize for her issues, but I wouldn't apologize for taking in poor children. Mom asked me to go after quietly watching this encounter. I took my stuff without saying anything. Mom called the next day. She said my hostility to Emily was unnecessary given her situation. My sister was wounded and suggested I apologize. Emily received a text apologizing for my harsh comments but not the content. I respected her journey and suffering, but I wouldn't take responsibility or let her imply my relationship with Mary and Ethan snatched children from better parents. Emily ignored my text. My mother called again to say I was exacerbating things by doubling down instead of apologizing. I'm in my kitchen watching Mary and Ethan build a block tower, wondering if I did something wrong. Mary is constantly asking when we'll visit Grandma and Grandpa again, and I'm stumped. I've always tried to do what's best for these kids, but I worry if my family would accept our unique parenting style. Was my effort excessive? Should I have cared for Emily more? Is my opinion correct? Update 1. My family's issues have grown 2 weeks after the dinner catastrophe. First, thanks to everyone who replied to my initial post. Your support confirmed my right to defend my children and family. Many of you had relatives who viewed foster care selfishly, which helped me feel less alone. After that text, Emily blocked my number and erased me from all her social media accounts without responding. Though expected, it's startling. My mother was supposed to visit 2 days before my 28th week anatomy scan last week. She canceled via phone. She stated Emily was too upset to hear my name and my mother didn't want to help me at the scan. She recommended that I reschedule after things calmed down. No rescheduling. Instead, I took Ethan to the appointment. The clinic nurses loved him, and he read picture books while the ultrasound technician conducted it. Watching him joyfully point at the TV when the baby moved made my mother and sister's absence less noticeable. After the visit, Mom texted to ask how it went and if I learned the baby's sex. Got the message but didn't respond. Say what? That a child may replace her at the clinic? That a stranger cared more about my pregnancy than my family? Dad called 4 days ago. His call surprised me because he's impartial on family issues. After my mother told him about skipping the anatomy scan, he checked on me. He occasionally asked questions but mostly let me tell about what happened since supper. After I finished, he said something shocking. Emily and my mother were wrong, he thought. He added, providing a home for children who needed one was never something to apologize for. And while he understood Emily's pain, she had no right to make me feel guilty for my choices or my pregnancy. He volunteered to stay with me after the baby was delivered with his new wife, Susan. He proposed they help with Mary and Ethan for 2 weeks while I healed, even though they lived 3 hours away. I needed postpartum assistance after my mother volunteered for this position. I heard from Emily's husband Tom yesterday. After our fight and therapy, he reported Emily was inconsolable. No apology was requested. He admitted Emily's dinner remarks were unacceptable. He wanted me to know she was getting help and hoped we could reconcile. He was appreciated and I was delighted Emily was getting therapy. Reconciliation must value my 3 children and acknowledge that Mary and Ethan are youngsters who require safety and stability, not consolation trinkets for infertile parents. After sending that communication, I sat down with Mary to explain her aunt and grandmother's predicament in age-appropriate terms. To digest disagreements, grown-ups need time apart, I told her. I assure her it had nothing to do with her or Ethan, and that I prioritized our family, including the new baby. Mary thoughtfully asked her aunt why the baby bothered her. I stressed that seeing others get what they want can make individuals angry. She agreed, adding she felt the same when her friend brought her the sneakers she wanted for her birthday, but her mom, Amanda, couldn't afford them. I occasionally admire 14-year-old wisdom. I accepted my father's postpartum aid via SMS this morning. Next, I updated Amanda by phone. She calls Mary twice a week and visits monthly. Her health is good. She was promoted at work and moved into her apartment over a year ago. She worried about the family tension and volunteered to keep both kids for a weekend before the baby arrived so I could prepare. My mother's loyalty to Emily over a milestone and my pregnancy still affects me. I focus on people who've supported me and my kids instead of her. The child is male. All scan tests were normal. Mary is pleased to have another brother. First gift I gave her when she moved in, she gave him a plush elephant. Ethan doesn't comprehend, but he pats my belly and says, "Baby," smiling. I haven't named the baby. Due to my busy schedule, it keeps sliding off. I have 12 weeks to decide, so suggestions are welcome. Thank you again for helping. It means more than you realize. Update 2. 3 months have gone since my last update, and the baby is 3 weeks old. Baby life comes first, but much has happened and I want to update. Birth first. Alex, 7 pounds 2 ounces, was born 2 weeks early. Work was easy, but tiresome. 14-hour runtime. My father and Susan arrived almost presciently the day before I gave birth. While I was in the hospital, they brought Mary and Ethan to visit Alex and me. Mary's reaction to her new sibling was beautiful. Her thorough treatment of him showed her wonder and pride. Ethan liked the hospital bed controls better than the baby, but he named Alex Tiny and caressed his head. Amanda took handmade baby blankets to the hospital. She sat with me when Mary showed her the baby and later said she was proud of Mary's youth. This time together via our unique family bonds is precious. My sister and mother's health. My mother asked which hospital after hearing I was in labor. After Alex was born, I replied with his birth stats and a photo. When could she visit? I told her I wasn't ready for guests beyond immediate support after talking to my father. I received many texts about my harshness and separating her from her grandson. She stated I was punishing her for supporting Emily and that a baby should unite the family. I needed time to recover without stress, so my father told her to depart. Alex received a large present a week after hospitalization. A costly bassinet and baby clothing were inside. Tom and Emily signed the card. Only names, no messages. So I called Tom to thank them for the gifts. He was astonished by my message and said Emily suggested the bassinet. He hesitated before saying she wasn't ready to talk. I said I appreciated the offer and the door was open for her to discuss. Mom unexpectedly visited my house 2 days later. Ethan was at playgroup, Mary was at school, and my father and Susan went grocery shopping while I was alone with a newborn. She kept ringing the doorbell, waking Alex, who had fallen asleep after eating. She pushed by me into the house and went to the living room bassinet when I opened the door. She grabbed Alex before I could stop her, raving about meeting her grandson. I felt violated by her intervention and didn't want to upset the baby. I told her to sit down and that while I was glad she wanted to meet Alex, entering unannounced was wrong. I asked her to follow my boundaries if she wanted to join us. Should I not have hidden the infant from the family, she wouldn't need such measures. Mother's mood changed once father and Susan returned. Her planned visit included giving me the baby. After witnessing my face, my father advised my mother to leave. After crying, she called to say I was turning everyone against her. Emily sent me a long email the next day. Her therapist advised her to write, but not communicate her feelings. She sent it anyway. She apologized and accused me, saying her dinner words were hurtful and that my ease at having children was a personal attack on her suffering. The final paragraph stated that she and Tom were authorized as foster parents and anticipated their first placement next month. She claimed that her therapist helped her realize her resentment at me was unwarranted and that foster care will heal her. She said she wasn't ready to see me or the baby, but wished to reconcile. Good luck with her first placement and congrats on foster parent permission. I gave her some guidance from my early fostering days and offered to talk when she was ready. No reply. My dad and Susan stayed 3 weeks longer than intended. Their help was crucial. They maintained Mary and Ethan's schedules, kept the house running well, and gave me quiet time between feedings. I was prepared for their departure. Amanda comes twice a month. She offered to care for Mary and Ethan for a week in the summer so I could focus on the baby. Mary is excited about this plan since Amanda moved to a poolside apartment complex. Getting used to 3 kids. Watching Mary read to her boys while they listen intently makes night feedings worthwhile. Ethan calls himself